Okay, camera on. This is probably gonna go poorly. I'm going to do something I have never done before, and I just gotta close out. I just finished an Aquarium Co-Op video. I think you guys all like that. And we are going to close out my drive because I am done with that. And turn this drive off. Okay. Well, this is my desk. And what I thought I would do is pick up the camera and just film a thing because we have not put out a FISHTROVERTS video in so long. So I have been at this desk editing and working, as I have stated before. And I just finished some stuff. I have a little bit of time to go film. So I'm going to try to do that. And, you know, I'm a hypocrite because I tell Zenzo all the time, just grab the camera, go film. It's so easy. But it's actually not easy at all. And so you're going to see everything here as it is. This is my mess. This is my current fish corner in our house. And I realized that this is going to be our third FISHTROVERTS video, and we've never actually shown a tank from here at home. Now, I've filmed a ton of these tanks, but I just haven't had time to put anything together. Like, I filmed the entire putting together of this 40 breeder, and I filmed some of this new 20 tall I just put in here. But I'm just going to tell you exactly what we have going on right now. And I think we're not going to have any DREA. Moving my towel. We're not going to have any DREA in this video. Just me, because I wanted to get something out and just show fish. So here is my current 40 breeder. And there is my, where is he? My Congo spotted puffer. I'm going to talk about this tank for a second. I love this tank. And make sure it is in focus first. Boom. Should work. So in this tank, nope, I'm gonna go back to manual. So you're getting the raw. This is just raw stuff here. My biggest tank is this 40 breeder. It's the first time I've even had a tank this large. I've just been collecting 20 longs. I pretty much was rocking these two 20 longs until this 40 breeder became a thing. I actually picked up the tank because I wanted this size. It was sitting out in the garage for a long time. And then I had a great opportunity where a friend of a friend was moving and rehoming some fish here locally in the Sacramento area. So this person allowed me to have a couple of Congo spotted puffers and some bleeding blue tetras and some pencil fish, which was awesome. Now I made this 40 breeder for the Congo spotted puffer there. And there were two of them, but the first one did not make it through the night on the first day. I'm not even sure what happened. I had the tank set up for a few days beforehand, and you know, I put in cycled sponge filters that I had sitting in other aquariums. So, you know, I did the best I could on short notice. They needed to move these fish, and you know, I went out, I got this, my substrate is a combination of Mexican beach pebble that Bob Steenfod had recommended on a live stream, and I really like it. But underneath it is some bronze Aztec beach pebble stuff that I got from Petco. It's actually buffer. It's actually the same stuff I have over here in this 20 long that I've mixed in with crushed coral and some more larger pebbles there at the bottom. I really love deeper substrates. Ever since I went to Ocean Aquarium with Zenzo and saw the deeper substrates there, I've just really embraced the notion of deep substrates, more beneficial bacteria. Why not? More room for plants to root in and grow, and I think it's worked out pretty well. But back to the story of these Congo puffers and my surviving one, who's awesome. So the second one, the other one did not make it I don't know what happened. As soon as I put these two in the aquarium, and yeah, they were acclimated for a little bit first. I put them in. The other one just like immediately went over into a corner or to the back of the aquarium and laid low. This guy was exploring the minute he got in the aquarium and pretty much fit right in. I haven't even experienced any issues with him at all. But the other one was, I tested all the parameters and things like that. So I don't know what kind of water it came from. I don't know if it was any harder or softer than mine. But this one did fine. The other one just didn't make it for some reason. Could have just been the stress, I guess. I'm not an expert in that, but this guy has been awesome, and he's waiting for me to feed him. I haven't fed anybody today yet, but he's getting there. When he got here, he was pretty skinny because I think it'd been a couple of days, and since he's eaten, now he's just, I probably overfeed him actually. But he's getting a little bit bigger, and he is now in here with 5 Congo tetras that are hiding because I'm here and I'm talking and the lights are on, and normally they are just unstoppable all over the place. And when I feed them, they go insane. Actually, we could feed them right now with this Aquarium Co-Op freeze-dried brine shrimp cube. Let's see, can I do this one-handed? This is Corey style here. Corey in the fish room, trying to do things one-handed. Okay, I gotta put the camera down. I did not do that one-handed, but I did get a brine shrimp cube, and I am going to drop it in here, and we can watch the Congo puffers will absolutely love that. Congo puffers, no, he won't eat it. The Congo tetras will love it. He will look at it and be dismayed by it. And I bet if I crank the light back down a little bit, this is my Aquarium Co-Op Easy Plant LED. He's the only one investigating. There we go. They'll start going now. But I've got 5 Congo tetras. They're very fun to watch. I saw Zenzo has had a couple for a long time, and I really wanted to get them. So I got a few, lost one, then picked up 3 more, and now I've got 5, and everyone's been super active, healthy. There they go. This puffer's really, really left out. I feel bad for him right now, but I'm gonna feed him really well in a little bit. He actually gets a mix of ram's horn snails. He now gets Malaysian trumpet snails. He gets bloodworms. I picked up this container of red worms. How do I get back onto manual focus? I keep moving it back over. Which is also hypocritical because I tell everyone to shoot manual, but here I am in autofocus. I got some red worms from Aquarium Depot in Citrus Heights, and that's full of pretty meaty worms that the puffer just shreds. And in here I've got a bunch of plants, mostly from Aquarium Co-Op. That's actually a broadleaf barteri DREA got from JJ Aquarium in Antioch. It's actually ended up in here. Now, the story in FISHTROVERTS has been, what is DREA gonna get for her first aquarium? Well, all that has been done and filmed, and we're moving in that direction, but this video will contain nothing about it because I just wanted to shoot this thing here. Let's see, we got the Aquarium Co-Op sponge filter, but I'm also rocking a top fin Silent Stream 20, I think, from PetSmart. I like these hang-on backs because they self-prime, so that's helpful. What's with that? I got to check parameters here. And so I'm using the combo of a large sponge filter and the single outlet Aquarium Co-Op pump. And, pro tip, if you do find a pump to be loud, which this one is not, but when I sit it on the countertop, I don't like it vibrating and everything. So I actually have this just sitting on a towel, and you'll see this is a huge mess right now. I mean, check that out. This is actually a production cart that I use when I'm in the field doing video stuff. And it's just loaded with fish tank stuff, all sorts of foods and tools, because we were moving a bunch of things around in here. Number one, it got crazy because this 20-gallon used to be right here. So we put the 40 breeder there. We moved this all the way over. And then this 20, which is like my favorite tank, but now it's in the corner and I hardly get to see it, is shoved back here. And then I really wanted to have my own 20 tall, and I wanted to rescape and have a fresh new tank to put the fish that are in this tank into there. And we'll get to that, I guess. But so my 40 breeder with my Congo spotted puffer, my Congo tetras, I love it. It's just scaped out with some rocks, some wood. I do have, I'm pretty sure, an Amano shrimp in there. And if you want to know how terrible I am at fish keeping, I spent about $40 on blue velvet neocaridina, and I bought a couple of Amano shrimp, and I put them in this aquarium, which ended up being about a $40 snack for that guy. So I'm pretty sure I lost all my blue dreams. I didn't even consider that he would eat the shrimp. I have seen at least one Amano on a couple of occasions, so I think he's been left alone and it floats about. And back here, there's a coconut hut, and then right next to it, you really can't see, is, I have him kind of protected and buried there, but there is a shrimp hide, an Aquarium Co-Op shrimp hide. And I just try to keep adding plants so that everyone's, well, for the filtering effect, for the visual effect, but so that the Amano shrimp can hide. If any blue dreams survived, they can hide. And that the puffer can have his own territory, which is generally over here near his feeding rock. It's all drop snails because of the substrate. I don't drop snails or anything on this substrate. It's just harder for him to get to. So I'll put the food that's obviously for him, I'll drop it onto that rock. I'll, crunch up the snails or put small snails over there, and he'll go over there and use that rock. And then back over here, this is a 20 long. I've got a Finnick Stingray on it as a light. I absolutely hate it. Like it provides tons of light, but it's one setting. I prefer the Co-op lights where you can adjust it. It's got the inline remote. And some people say they get the Co-op light in there and they're like, it's too yellow, I don't like it. And when I first turned it on, I thought the same. Like, I got it. I understand what you're saying by that. Because when you compare it to a bluer light, like kind of like this one here, because I'm using a Fluval plant or Fluval 3.0 light. And like, it's okay. Like, it's a good light. It's decent. I do not like the power button here. Just hate it, because sometimes when it's gotten wet or things cake over it, the minerals and stuff, it won't function. Their app is terrible, I think. Just don't like it, but I had it, so I threw it on this tank because I'm clearly trying to get plants going in there. I just received a bunch of these from Co-op and picked some up from Aquarium Depot and Citrus Heights, but they're all still in the pots. I just threw some snails in there. Actually, I got snails I ordered snails because I didn't have any Malaysian trumpet snails and I needed some more ram's horns, but I ordered them from Fish Are Friends, and I'll put a link of that in the description. I've got some B-roll of unboxing from that too. Maybe we go to that here. Fish Are Friends just loaded me up with ram's horn snails, Malaysian trumpet snails, and I utilize them in a lot of the tanks that I have. Well, in a few of the tanks that I have. I thought it was a great deal. It was super fast shipping, packaged really well, and even got a little a thank you note. So some of those Fish Are Friends snails ended up in here, and they're doing some work for me, kind of as the tank cycles and the plants get a little used to the water, and eventually I'll get them pulled out of the pots and placed where I want, but they're doing fine for now. But the goal is to completely remove the fish that are in this aquarium and put them in that 20 tall. But more, I'll get back to that because I want to talk more about this tank. My 20 long in here is just completely overrun with Vallisneria. I've got Java moss going crazy all over. And there are celestial pearl danios in there. I have a few yellow sakura neocaridina. Back there, there's one hanging out on that algae, I think. And there's a bunch of ram's horns in here. So usually I'm pulling ram's horns from this tank. And then I have a tank downstairs I'll show you that I actually farm ram's horns and Malaysian trumpet snails in now. But I don't do much to this tank. Like when the Val got really crazy, I yanked a bunch of it out. You can just see it's going nuts in there. And this Java moss has gotten pretty crazy. But I just let it kind of do its thing with dwarf hairgrass up front. The CPDs I feed like every other day. I give them a whole bunch of live baby, or not live, but frozen baby brine shrimp, and they'll take some crumbled up Vibra bites, and they do a little bit of flake food feeding now. It's taken me months to get them to do that, but they do. But moving over to this guy here, this tank also a 20 long, and I have my powder blue dwarf gourami Nacho. He is, I swear he's alive. He's kind of a food hog, not much of a tank bully, but when I did experiment by pulling him out of this 20 long, because I thought maybe there's just too many other fish in there and he'd be better off in this 40 breeder, he got in there and immediately started nipping at the Congo puffer. So the Congo puffer didn't seem to know that Nacho even existed. But I was sat here and watched him, and the gourami kept trying to nip at him, and just like, obviously that wasn't gonna work. So he got yoinked out of that tank and put back into here. And then so everyone's hiding, the lights on. I usually don't have it this bright, and nobody's been fed. But I've got the bleeding blue tetras in there that I helped rehome, and there are 12 pencil fish, and my tank's filthy, like the glass is filthy. This is all, this is real life, folks. The tank just sucks right now. Like the plants aren't even, there's some green in there, but I really could be doing better at trimming and fertilizing and just taking care of things. But this tank was an experiment. Like you can see there's sand on the bottom with some what is even in that? I think it was some sort of leftover fluval stratum and black gravel. And then I've got sand over here. I was going to make like a beach thing. And then I got like crushed coral in the mix over there. This is awful. And ultimately what I think I'm going to do is move all the fish that are in there eventually into this 20 tall once I get everything planted and it's fully cycled. Like this corner looked very different back in, I think, October is when Zenzo was here, and we did a thing on one of my tanks for his channel. And I had a shelf up here, but I grabbed it and yanked it out accidentally. So I moved that over, and you'll find so much stuff over here right now. It's just see how terrible this is. I have a mess everywhere. So I'm using up my ledge here for products just because I haven't organized anything. I've been so busy working that all of this has just remained a mess. And I know some of you out there gotta have situations like this where it's not pretty. And I don't care if we're seeing this, because this is reality. This is fish keeping. I've got there's some food on the lights and some mineral grime and stuff like that. And the filter needs to be cleaned, and like I have stuff there I gotta remove. And this is all on like look at that. Look at that. That's a mess. That's a full-on mess right there. And my intent is to swap out all of those USB nano pumps with the Aquarium Co-Op dual outlet pumps. So I've got a few of those, and I'm trying to change everything around and minimize the plugs that I'm using. Now that I'm just a little bit smarter about fish keeping, and I have a little bit more direction on how I like to keep things, I'm just gonna make things easier. But like, look, I mean, I got tools sitting around here, worms sitting there, shrimp food. This is fish keeping at its best, right? Like, look at that. That needs to be cleaned, right? Or does it? I don't know. We'll get there. Do your tanks look like this? If you do, that's how you know you're a fish keeper. Now I'm downstairs in our half bath, and I set up a 4-gallon cube, I think sometime in January, and let it cycle, put some decor in there, got some rocks, a little bit of wood, just a few plants. I think there's Anubias, there's, I think I put Nana Petite back there on the wood. I don't know if that's even visible now. This Bucephalandra that I got from Aquarium Depot, I think it's called, what are they called? Plant cultures. You get them in the little containers. And surprising to me, because I kill so many plants, they've really thrived. And I do not really take care of this tank. I mean, shocker, because I use it to farm snails. So not a lot of maintenance is done in here. Sometimes I'll come down and gravel vac a little bit. You know, I top off. I don't really do water changes. I've got some dwarf hairgrass going right there. Got some Malaysian trumpet snails right there. These are the Malaysians that I got from Fisher Friends. But I drop food in here, blanched zucchini, stuff like that, and try to just keep the snail population going so that I can feed them to my puffer. And we don't really have guests, but I'm just waiting for guests to come to our house, use this downstairs bathroom, and wonder, why is this guy keeping a box of water full of snails in the bathroom? And back upstairs. So yeah, that's the fish that I keep now. Now we have another tank downstairs you didn't get to see. That'll be coming in a future FISHTROVERTS video. That's Dre's storyline. This is my storyline, where I started with a 10-gallon aquarium sitting here where the 40 breeder is. And I started that aquarium because I needed a place where I could come out of the office and sit and see some nature, because generally all my time is spent here. And I think in 2020, I had just wrapped filming a feature film and was in the process of editing. So I was spending hours and hours and hours, kind of like I am now, in there editing. And I wanted to be able to come out and sit down and not look at a screen. And I had been watching a bunch of Aquarium Co-Op and a whole bunch of channels, learning more about the hobby. And I'm so glad I did, because now I've got these things to enjoy. But also, one of my jobs is editing for Aquarium Co-Op. And, you know, if you want some more realness, here's the office of a content creator. So, I mean, my gear shelf is just, this is all a mess, because I've been working so much that just things don't get the proper attention and proper organization. So lots of lenses, my other like camera bodies, and you know, stuff I use. Sometimes I gotta grab things and do B-roll using my tanks, or I'll run to local fish stores and do stuff. Like, this is crazy. Just everything's a mess. There's like a battery graveyard over there where I go to charge everything when I have shoots. My old PC I really don't know why I hang on to this thing anymore, but sometimes I operate multiple computers on different projects, and I can switch from working here, so I can be doing something over here, and when that's busy doing something, they can come back here, or I guess I can be on the laptop. Here's where hard drives go to die. Like, all of these drives is pretty much what the last probably 4 to 5 years of media for clients, things like that. And craziness down here on the ground. Sometimes I collect Foley sound or natural sound, and so my Zoom F6 is sitting here with my Rode NTG. So sometimes you'll hear in the videos for Girl Talks Fish or Tazawa Tanks or Aquarium Co-op. I always recommend listening with headphones on when you can, because I do a lot of sound design underneath it, where I go and I record sounds and, you know, use it for stuff like that. But this is the spot. This is where this is probably where I'll die. When I die, it'll probably be at this desk, editing some sort of fish-related video, I assume. And I think this is your pretty typical editor suite. Like, some people work on laptops, but I can't do that because I use a lot of drives with my work. So I don't know if this is interesting. I've got a 42 or 43 inch Dell Ultra Sharp main monitor. I've got a BenQ 4K monitor there, and a 27 inch Dell Ultra Sharp here that I use vertically. And none of what I do would be possible without my M1 Ultra Max Studio. That thing is a beast. And in there are the drives for Tazawa Tanks and Girl Talks Fish and a couple of other client drives. And then the last drive at the bottom is actually where I store family content right now. So sometimes I even try to pick up the camera and get stuff around the house, and I'll just dump it over there. So if there's proof that we lived on this planet. My trusty iPad, which is, man, my editor's friend. What am I doing right now? I think I've been on Peacock. I mean, is that all right? Watching George Lopez. So I'll sit here for hours, and sometimes I just need stuff to watch. So right now we're binging George Lopez, or I'll be watching FishTuber live streams, etc., movies. Over here, we've got this drive is for another client. Whoops, I knocked over Rhodey. This drive, or this bay, has Aquarium Co-op drives, a drive for FISHTROVERTS, and a archive drive attached to it. And then there are all sorts of SSD drives laying around that are used for various clients and different purposes. But this is pretty much where your Tazawa Tanks, most of your Girl Talks Fish, and all of your Aquarium Co-op content is edited now. Well, and FISHTROVERTS, which I'm going to start editing this video right now. So if you got through all this, thanks for watching. I'm obligated to say hit like, hit subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll be updating you on what DREA has done and some other things that we've done. Once again, I have no idea. We have no release schedule. I don't know when the next video is coming out. I'm going to try to edit this today, get it out for tomorrow, Friday, July 21st. But I've got more work to do, so I've got to get back to that as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.